Hey, what's going on, people? It's your boy Jimmy again, coming at you with another tutorial. And today we're going to be going over how to cut the faux hawk, or some people may know it as the South of France haircut. So we're just going to brush the hair, just go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to start my guideline as close to the ear as I can. That's because I do not want to go high at all on this fade. And I'm going to use my Andis T edgers. That's just so I could get a real clean surface. To prevent from going up too far, I'm going to go ahead and keep my guideline real close to the ear. Maybe no more than a quarter inch, an eighth to a quarter inch from the ear. And as you've already noticed, he has his hair pinned up. And that's just because he's going to change it, but that's not going to change how we approach the haircut at all. Alright, as for the next part of the haircut, I'm going to go ahead and get my Oster Fast feed. I'm going to close my blade up all the way. And I'm going to go up about a quarter inch in the same shape that I just created with my T edges. And the reason why I'm going up only a quarter inch is because, like I said earlier, I'm working in a small space. And I'm closing my blade up because it does give me the difference that I need in the levels of the hair to accomplish the transition that I'm actually going for. Alright, now as for the next part of the fade, I'm going to go ahead and snap my 1/16 of an inch guide comb on. And I'm going to close my blade all the way up. And I'm going to go in the same shape that I did with my most recent level. Now by this point, you should start actually noticing the transition in the fade. So just go ahead and keep working that until you can tell the difference in the levels. And don't be afraid that you're actually getting up too high. Because as long as you're following the number system in your guide comb and you're opening and closing your blade accordingly, everything should come out smooth as you go up. Alright, now as for this part of the haircut, I'm going to go ahead and take out my initial guideline at the bottom of the fade. And I'm going to do this by closing my blade up all the way on my Andis Fade Master, and I'm going to go ahead and work in that small area as to where I created my guideline. And I'm going to go ahead and stay in that small area until I see that line disappear. Now I'm going to actually be working between open and close, just so I can start my transition into from the bald part of the hair until where the hair actually starts to show up in the fade. Alright, now that I have my initial guideline taken out of the fade, I could grab my Oster Fast feeds and I could work between open and close and go just a little bit higher just to make that transition into the fade more smooth. Alright, now that my initial guideline is taken out and everything is smooth, from that point I'm going to go ahead and grab my number 1 guide comb and this guide comb, my 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to close my blade up all the way and go in that same semicircle shape up about an 1/8 of an inch. And the reason why I'm only going up an 1/8 of an inch with this particular guard is because I'm getting to the top of the fade, and the closer to the top of the fade you get, the less hair you actually need to take off, because it's going to be actually going into the bulk of the hair. So there's no need to go as high as you did in the beginning of the fade. Now, as you can see, I'm working between open and close with my one guard. This is very important in fading, and that's because when your blade is closed, or whatever guard you have on, it's going to take off more hair than when your blade is open all the way. So the higher I go up, I'm going to go ahead and open my blade up, although I do have the same guard on. And based on the weight or the bulk that I see in the hair, it's going to determine whether or not my blade is open or closed. Always remember that when you're fading. Alright, now just doing any cleanup work that I may have missed in the bottom of the fade as I worked my way up to the top. Alright, now at this point I still don't have 100% smooth fade, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my number 2 Andis guide comb, hose the blade up all the way, and go up in that same semicircle shape and try to knock out some of this bulk. Alright, now that I got rid of some of the bulk in the hair, I'm going to go ahead and grab my number 1 Andis guide comb, snap it back on. I'm going to go ahead and open my blade up on this one, only because I've already went at it with the blade closed. So in order to manipulate the fade, I want to go ahead and open my blade up with my one on. And I'm going to go ahead and try to knock out this last little bit of density that I have in this fade. Alright, now I'm working between the 1 and the 2 guide comb, and the reason I'm doing this is because in this area of the hair, he actually has it plaited up. So in order to prevent like a big gap from being between his hair that he has tied up and the hair that I'm actually cutting, I'm using my 2 guard just so it can take off less hair, and it'll be a smoother transition over into the biggest mass of his hair. Alright, so now I'm going to be working between open and close, my 1 and 2, and width and against the grain, just so I can outsmart the hair, you know, because sometimes it may require different methods of execution. So yeah, you always want to be aware of the level that you're on. That way you know how to approach the hair and get a smooth transition. Alright, as for this side of the haircut, you're going to go ahead and apply the same rules that you did on the first side. And if you ever get lost in the fade, just go back to the basics. The more hair you want to take off, the more you're going to have the gap in your blade closed. You don't want to go up too far when you're doing that. And the less hair you want to take off, you're going to go ahead and open your blade, open the gap in your blade all the way up. And as you get higher into the fade, of course, you want to go ahead and start using your guide combs, and you can work between open and close on your guide comb as well, just to make sure that the fade is going to have a smooth transition from from light to dark. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let you watch me work this side and go ahead and fade this side, and that way you could actually see without actually having to listen to me talk. You can see what I'm doing and how I'm applying the rules. And then I'm going to come back at you with the next part of the haircut. Alright, if you're liking the video so far, please do me a huge favor. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Definitely motivates me to come out with more material. Please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate your support. Thank you. as for this part of the haircut, what you see me doing now is actually preparing to do the edge up. Now the reason why I do this is because on the edge up portion of the haircut, I want to make sure that everything is laying down and everything is going in the same direction. So when I do edge the hair up, I won't have any loose hairs compromising the shape and definition of the edge up. So yeah, I'm just prepping myself to go ahead and start to edge the hair up. Now, as for the edge up, as I stated in earlier videos, I do like to start at the bottom corner of the edge up, and this is mainly because this is the most difficult part to define. So you want to go ahead and define that and establish your points. And remember that you must use the corner of the blade, because the corner gives you more control over the shape that you create in the hair. Alright, now as far as the vertical part of the edge up, that's going to be determined on the positioning of the corner part of your edge up. So wherever the corner part of your edge up starts, you want to go ahead and place your clippers on the edge of the vertical part of that, and that way you have a smooth connection between the box portion of the edge up going into the curve. And also the part that's going to be going straight across is going to be determined by your vertical part. Now wherever that stops at on the top area, that's kind of where you want to place your clippers going straight across, and that way you have a smooth connection in your edge up. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you watch me complete this edge up. I'm mostly doing detail work by now, so just go ahead and watch, and I'll go ahead and come back at you with the next part of the haircut. Alright, as for this part of the edge up, I'm going to go ahead and apply the same rules that I did on the first side. I'm just going to go ahead and let you watch. I just didn't want to leave out anything, and so you can see how everything comes together. Alright, now as far as the edge up on the back, it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward as far as the execution. You just want to go ahead and go with the natural shape of the neck and stay as far to the outside as you can on that, and it'll pretty much come out clean every time. So just go ahead and apply that on both sides pretty much, and you have the back of your edge up done. Alright, well that's just gonna about do it for this haircut. If you like the cut, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be coming out with more material. Thinking about doing this every Sunday, so please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you good people later. Take care.